Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing kind of like a spur of the moment, like this was a video that I literally just thought of recently, but I want to do kind of like a get ready with me in terms of like how I achieve like dewy, glowy skin, radiant skin for spring. I'm not going to necessarily say dewy because I have oily skin, so I don't really have that many products that would make me like dewy, so to speak. So I'm going to be showing you kind of like a get ready with me how I get kind of like radiant skin for spring. It's just a time for kind of like bronzy makeup. I am not going to do my full on like transformation bronzy kind of situation in this video today. So yeah, I'm just going to be showing you how I get like my glowy skin for someone who has oily skin. So if you're curious to see everything that this entails, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you know when I post, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Okay, so first things first is to obviously put my hair back like this, and this is going to be a skin focused video, so I am just going to be showing you the products that I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be mainly focused on the skin. I will probably cut out my eyeshadow application, but I really just want this to be focused on transforming my skin from like lackluster and like, you know, it's not dry, I have oily skin, but make it look a little bit more radiant. So first things first, I'm going to go in with the Touch & Soul Glassy Skin Balm. It looks like this. And this is like a priming moisturizer. It's definitely very dewy. This is what it looks like. But it's one of those things that just makes your skin look a little bit more radiant. So I'm just going to take my fingers into this. You can see on my fingers, it's not super like thick or anything. It literally just looks like glass. And I'm just going to one cheek at a time just really apply that to my face. And I'm going to avoid my T-zone because I get very oily. So you can already see the difference between this side and this side, and that's barely applying anything. So I'm going to take more. And you can, of course, build this up as you see fit. I'm actually going to take a little bit more and just kind of put that here, just so I have a little bit of that base here and then a little bit on my forehead as well. It's okay to use dewy / like radiant products when you do have oily skin. That's not the problem. I think the problem is just overdoing it. It's fine to just layer stuff as long as you don't go overboard. So now for foundation, I'm not going to go in with anything that's too matte necessarily because obviously this is like a dewy skin for oily skin kind of tutorial. I'm actually going to be mixing two things, and the thing about having like dewy skin or like radiant skin in my opinion is I don't want a full mask. So I'm actually going to mix these two things. I'm going to mix the Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation stick in the shade Warm Beige. This is more of a light coverage foundation and it's a little bit darker for me, so I'm going to mix that in with the Found BB cream. It's very dewy and very radiant, and I can't really wear it on my own, but it has blackberry extract. It helps heal and hydrate skin during cold and dry months. So I'm just going to shake this up because this is definitely very dewy on its own, and then I'm going to paint a couple stripes of the Milani concealer or foundation on my face. I'm going to take this on my little BH Cosmetics number 2 brush, shake this up really nice, and then pour this on like this, just a little bit. And then see how it's much lighter, so it'll balance out my skin tone. And I'm just going to paint this and buff this in. Now the tricky thing is as someone who has a lot of like pigmentation and acne scarring, it's hard for me to maintain radiance and also doing like a natural covered look. Even though I'm not going to pile on too much, I am going to go ahead and spot conceal these areas here because it's usually around my mouth that's the most problematic. But you can see we have basically a more even skin tone. Those two products just combined for, you can kind of see it maintains the glow from the Glass Skin Balm from Touch & Soul. But then this also, this Found BB cream is an excellent product if you just want to do like a one layer of something and you don't want to put on foundation. This does give good coverage. It's obviously sheer coverage, but it does give you a little bit of that extra like juice to your skin, and you can kind of see that I have that radiance like just maintaining on my face. So as I mentioned, we are going to be spot concealing, and then there's no better concealers I can think of that maintain that kind of like nice flawless but yet not too matte look than the Pretty Fresh ColourPop concealers. I have the shades Light 50W and then Medium 105 Neutral. I am going to actually highlight with the Light 50 Neutral, Light 50 Warm, sorry. And this is obviously a bit of a warmer concealer, but this just feels so soothing under your eyes and on your skin because of that hyaluronic acid. And then I'm going to be taking the 105 Neutral to just cover up any blemishes or dark spots. And this is great because it's not going to mattify you too much. It's going to look nice. And it does look a little bit darker, obviously, but we will blend that out all around my skin. And take that same brush from BH Cosmetics and just start bumping it in. The key is less is more. I rarely put on really dewy, thick layers of concealer just because I think it's like a little bit too much, and what you blend, you extend, I think, as Wayne Goss had said. I believe it was Wayne Goss. But it's so true. So if you concentrate the majority of the pigment or the product in the center or the corner of your eye, center of your face, you can just always blend outward. And this does give really good coverage. See how I still have a sheen? It looks really, really nice. And I'm just going to take the spot concealing and I'm just going to blend that up all over my face so it doesn't look like patches, if you know what I mean. And that concealer still leaves like a nice little glow wherever you blend it, which I really like and I think is so fitting for kind of like this rebirth of the year, you know what I mean, or the season. And taking some of that excess and just repurposing it. Okay, now that we have our cream base on pretty much, you can see that the foundation and that concealer just left my skin looking, I keep saying this, but it's not super duper matte. So I really do want to call out that the products that I'm using, they're not going to be super matte. They're not going to leave you super matte, but at the same time, they're not necessarily going to be super dewy either, which is the balance that I am looking for. Okay, now I want to set everything down. And of course, if you have dry skin, this is optional for you. But of course, I'm going to take my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. It looks like this. And I am just going to set underneath my eyes. And this is really important because banana powder actually brightens your skin and helps those areas move forward, which I think is key for a look where you want to stay radiant. You just want to be highlighted and cute and fresh. Now for powder, this isn't necessarily a mattifying powder. This is just kind of like a pore smoothing powder, which is what I'm looking for here. I'm going to take the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder in translucent. You can already see I love this powder and I'm almost hitting pan, but I'm just going to take it on an Equal Tools brush. Now, according to how much dew you want to keep into your skin, you do not have to powder your skin too much or at all. Even I just need to, because I know that as I wear this throughout the day, my oils are going to come through and try to move around my makeup, so I need to set it down. But today I'm just going to do a light dusting, just like this. Nothing too like heavy at all, and you can see that my skin looks a little bit more perfected, but it's not looking too flat, which I love. And we're actually going to help that a little bit more with the products that we're going to be using, like the bronzers and the blushes and all that stuff. So for bronzer, I'm going to be taking the Milani Baked Bronzer in Soleil. It's just a really nice warm bronzer, but I am going to contour my face just a little bit first. I'm going to take my Essence contouring palette, what I spoke about in my February favorites, and I'm just going to take this shade right here, tap it off, and just lightly go on the hollows with this small dual fiber brush. Nothing too big. I just want to chisel out my cheeks a little bit. And it's so easy to use. Like, it just blends out so nicely. And then a little bit down my nose. And this will just help bring some overall definition before we actually go in with bronzing the whole face. So to do that, I'm going to go back with my Milani, not back with, I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to take my Milani Baked Bronzer in Soleil. And on this BH Cosmetics 108 brush, I am just going to get in there and just go all over. Bronzy skin just really complements like the radiance that you put in it, I think. It just kind of like allows it to come together as one. And this bronzer isn't too super duper pigmented, so you can be super liberal with it. It's about being overall bronzy, you know what I mean? You can see I just have a nice flush of warmth to my face. And now for blush, I want something that's really peachy, really warm, and really just conducive to like a spring look. So I'm going to take my BareMinerals Gen Nude blush in that peach though. This is a really beautiful blush, very pigmented but very creamy, and it's not going to be super matte. This is not a matte blush, even though it's a powder formula. When you touch it, it almost feels like cream. Like, it just feels so creamy. And it just blends into your skin so effortlessly. So this is the perfect choice for today. I'm going to apply this with my Wet n Wild brush right here. I personally do not own any like cream bronzers or cream blushes because my skin, I always have to powder it. So putting like cream on top of powder can go south really quickly. So I just don't. But I love products like this where it's like the perfect like oily girl compromise. This is totally optional, but I'm going to go in with the Ciate blush light right here in the shade Dusk. And this will just give me a little bit more of a sheen. Even though that blush that I applied was very like creamy, on its own. I want this because the color I think matches my shirt a little bit better, but also because it does give me a little bit of a glow, even though we're going to go in with highlight. Now, the next step is something that I really don't do often, but I think it is a great step for a look like this. I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona All Over Glow, and I'm just going to take this and just liberally run it all over my face using a powder brush. Now, if you have oily skin, you're probably like, oh my god, why would I ever do that in my life? But this is actually something that can really just help you stay glowy without making your oils even more prominent. I'm going to take it on this Moda Pro brush. This is the perfect brush for veiling or something like this. I'm just going to take it all in here and just literally just dust this all over my face like this. Nothing to it, it'll just make you stay and look a little bit glowier than usual. Just gonna hit it on my neck as well. Okay, so you can see I'm pretty much like all over glowy, very, very minimally, but of course we're gonna go in and we're gonna highlight because that is gonna be the star of the show. And when I think glowy and bronzy, I'm gonna take my Summer Haze Artist Couture highlight. This is the Diamond Glow powder. It's a loose highlight. It looks deeper in the pan, but when you put this on your face, it is just truly so beautiful. So I'm gonna take my little fan brush, go in here, and just go on the apple, or the cheekbones. And this is really what's going to make you look like that wet dewiness. This is a really intense highlight, but it is just so beautiful and like really just puts you in the mood for spring. Go above the brow bone before I highlight the brow bone. You can build it up to your desired intensity. I'm going a little bit hand today because this is a glowy look. And then because we have all of our powders down, before I get started on my eyes, I am going to set my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is not the mattifying setting mist. This is really just something that's going to lock your makeup in, but it still keeps a nice radiance to your skin. And then once that dries, you'll be able to really just tell like how radiant my skin looks. Okay, so I am going to just do my brows and my eye makeup really quick, and then I will be right back. So I'm back. I applied my eyeshadow obviously and my lip. I will tell you briefly what I did. I used the Ace Beauty Grandiose palette, and I basically applied these two shades from this palette. I applied Cinnamon, which is really, really beautiful, kind of like all over the lid in my crease, and then a dash of is this Prime Rose as a gold all over my lid. So beautiful and metallic. And then on my lower lash line, I applied Poppy. And then on top of that, I went in with, oh, where'd it go? The ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Vela by Kathleen Lights. It's like that peachy duochrome, which I thought was so pretty for spring. I don't know. And then on my outer corners a little bit, I went in with the Morphe little palette. You can't really buy this anymore, but I went in with this deep brown here. And then I went in with my mascara, and then I went in with the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in Alyssa, also by Kathleen Lights, which I didn't think of, but I wanted like a nice pink lip, fresh for spring. And I wanted to come back on camera to apply my finishing touches for this look. I'm going to go back in with the Artist Couture Summer Haze highlight, and then highlight my inner corners and my, okay, I'm just going to get another brush. My inner corners and my brow bone. Oh, look at that. It's just stunning. This just really just makes your look pop. Like, it truly is so beautiful. And then also I'm going to go in with a gloss on the lips. I want something that's going to have some prismatic shine, so I'm going to go in with an oldie but a goodie. This is one that I love. It's a ColourPop Atta Girl lip gloss. You can see just like the dimension. It's so pretty and so comfortable. And I always wipe my brush before I put it back in the tube. And then I just want to set my face one more time. I'm going to go in with this guy right here, and this is a little bit tricky because it does have glitter particles in it, but it's so pretty and it just will seal the deal for this nice like fresh radiant look. This is the iconic London Prep Set and Glow Spray. I talked about this in my February favorites. It is absolutely stunning. I use it all over my body, but then I'm going to use it on my face as well, just a little bit. And it just smells so nice. Whew, I look so dewy, but I love it. And then if you do find, because initially when I had sprayed this, there were some water droplets, I'm just going to take a velour puff and then just press in my skin just so that everything looks seamless after that setting spray. But you can see I definitely do look very dewy and very glowy. And that is it for my skin focused Get Ready With Me. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I know it was a simple kind of like talk through tutorial, but I wanted to just kind of get on here and show you how I do like radiant skin for spring as someone with oily skin, because I know it can be hard to find a balance. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Let me know down below what you want to see from me next. And yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye!